Once Been here at the Battle Report. So this is my Empire army versus the same warriors list and player that I played in my last game when I was using Beastmen. Blood and Glory scenario, 3,000 points. Before I get to that, I want to show there's a MGM painting. I've talked about them every now and then. A local couple where the wife paints and the guy plays Warhammer. I think he's kind of lucky. Anyway, I commissioned her to paint banners because on these painting scores for upcoming tournaments, you have to have some kind of freehand work on there, and I can't do freehand, and I think it's bullshit, to be honest, that your score for overall includes stuff that requires what I consider to be innate artistic ability. Nevertheless, so I commissioned her to paint these, and I think they just turned out awesome. Just, I wish I could do that. Just beautiful. Another thing you'll notice my list is I'm no longer using Bretonnian Knight as my Karl Franz model. This is a custom-built model using a Bretonnian horse and I think, yeah, a Bretonnian body. So I'll get them painted up pretty soon, but it looks like that. So you'll see that on the table. So the list I'm facing in the upper right-hand corner, yeah, I mean, God, I want to say typical. So, by the way, I want you to notice, I'm always joking with this guy saying, give me an inch, that there should be an inch between units and an inch between impassable terrain and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I look at these pictures, I'm like, there is not an inch between stuff there. Like, I know you're trying to hide stuff behind this rock. Damn it, give me an inch. Anyway, I am openly teasing you, my friend. Give an inch between your units. He's got 2 Chimeras, a Demon Prince. Demon Prince is rocking the lore Slaanesh. He's got a Battle Standard Bearer that's unkillable and a level 2 Lore of Metal Sorcerer on disc. He's got Throg with some trolls, then just chaff everywhere. 2 chariots, 2 units of dogs, unit of marauders, another unit of dogs, some marauders on horse, and then some skull crushers with a banner. He's already vanguard in this picture. And we're playing Blood and Glory, so we're up fairly close to each other. Actually, ironically, I'm up on the 15-inch line, and he actually held back, which is funny, because I really should be back, and you'd think he would be farther forward. I've got Demis holding down my left flank, unit of Halberdiers. I brought Captuses back. I thought I'd try him out. Unit of Knights, and I'm not even putting the list here, because it's the same list I've been using every time. There are 3 characters in that Knight unit, a Warrior Priest, a Battle Standard Bearer, and Karl Franz. Here's my Stank, a unit of archers with my level 4, and I'm trying Lore of Metal. There's a cannon behind him, the Hurricanum, then in front of that is more Halberdiers, and then another unit of Demis. So a lot of lists we're facing anymore, there's just some armies out there that have a lot of really cheap or really effective chaff. I'm thinking Dark Elves in terms of really effective. So my thinking was, especially on the right, to use the Demis as actually kind of a chaff killer. They can kill chaff, and then if they get countercharged, they actually can do okay normally. I put my knights up in the front line, so I'm trying something different, obviously, but I'm looking for my steam tank to help hold stuff up in front of my halberdiers, or something that, anything I really don't want to get into. And my Captuses and the Demis to clear out chaff, and I want to get that knight unit into Throg. If I get that, I have to 6 dice the flaming attack spell, and if I get that, I think that knight unit can just crush his trolls. My fear is he has so much chaff between those 2 chariots and those dogs that I may not be able to get the charge I need, but we'll see. And I put this in there because I think that's just awesome. Alrighty, so we go. I actually win the turn to go first and decide to let my opponent go first, because I didn't see enough shooting that was really going to do much turn 1. I could probably shoot at a Skull Crusher and or chariots, and certainly not bad targets. But anyway, I thought it might be helpful to go last in this game. So he moves up like that. Yeah, there's his bunk. Oh, look, there's not an inch between units. Then it doesn't matter. I'm just teasing him. Yeah, so he's got the Chimera wall up. Another thing he has is, he's got the Charmed Shield on the Demon Prince, and I don't have a lot of good things to with which to strip that shield. I've got some archers, but they have a hard time hitting stuff. There's the left. I wouldn't mind charging those dogs if he held for it, and then overrunning into the marauders behind that building with my demigryphs. But I really don't want to charge those those marauders on horse on the left. I mean, if he flees and I fail charge, I'm okay with that. I don't want to make the charge because with our reform or overrun, I'm not going to get out of line of sight of those skull crushers, and skull crushers beat demigryphs. During the magic phase, I kind of had a fail. He cast acquiescence on my cannon. He rolled a 10, or I needed to roll a 10 to stop it, and I picked up 3 dice. I could have used 4, I could have used 5. I used 3, which just doesn't make any sense because it's about a 50-50 venture, and I failed it. And so then after that, he had +4, I had +0 to cast, so then he got Searing Doom off on my steam tank and did a couple wounds to it. The 2 wounds to the steam tank doesn't bother me. Acquiescence of the cannon hurts a little bit more and just makes me angry when I fluff it and my opponent gets both spells through that he was trying to get. Empire turn 1 is a really interesting turn. So overall it looks like that. I want you to look at the table and after that I want you to think to yourself, what was the really crucial mistake that Once Bitten made here? I can tell you things that are happening on the top right. My demigryphs charge a chimera and it fled. They redirected, I think, into the other chimera, or maybe I just let it fail charge. I wasn't worried about the failed charge. He could probably countercharge him with the Demon Prince and his BSB. I think if he does, there's still a chance one of them might fail, and if they both make it, I'm really not worried about losing the demis. I just really would, in the process, would like to get a wound or 2 off on one or both of those things. Cannon moves over there to shoot. I move my archers over so they can try to strip off the charmed shield so that my cannon and my steam tank can maybe put some wounds on the Demon Prince. The problem is they moved its long distance and they're behind demigryphs, so they're hitting on like 1,000,000, and it's going to be tough to get a wound through. There's that. There's the chimera fleeing. So the one good thing is that if he does charge with his Demon Prince and or his BSB, and or if he just moves, that chimera is going to be rallying on really low leadership and will likely go off the table. So at least there's that. Obviously my knights charge Throg, and that's gonna fly or not, depending on whether or not I get the flaming spell off. I'm going to sacrifice my champion to Throg because you don't want any character in combat with Throg. Nothing at all. But if I get the flaming up, Karl Franz, you know, he's going to have 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, auto wound, and if I have the magic spell up, he gets no saves, and they do D3 wounds each. So, and then all those knights with hatred, strength 6. If my opponent doesn't get wounds, yeah, I'm just going to clean up that unit. Even then, I expect to lose much of this knight unit, but that'll be a big threat off the table. Capsis charges dogs. They flee. He redirects to a chariot. I'm hoping to beat that chariot, and if I break him in combat, I think it's going to be tough for us to get wounds on each other, but I'll win by a charge. He doesn't have leadership or a reroll nearby. He'll be on, I believe, a 7, so he might fail it. We're going at an angle that I think it's got to either take me into the chariot on the right or into the dogs. It's hard to tell. Over here, my demis charges dogs. He fled, and I just let it be a failed charge. I don't mind that. The Skull Crushers are really far away, and I would love for the Skull Crushers to charge the demis. I think he needs 11, and I think they're likely to fail it, and then he's pretty far away from where he needs to be. Oh, and the other thing is I took the wizard out of my archer unit and put him in the halberdier unit on the far left. I didn't want him with the archers because they were just too near the Demon Prince and other nasty things, and I didn't really want him out on his own. Excuse me. So I threw him in with the halberdiers. After, yeah, in the magic phase, yeah, I just rolled really, really well for the magic phase. I think I had 6 or 8 dice. I think my opponent had 4 or 5. So I was able to throw 6 dice at the one spell that mattered. I got the flaming spell off, and we tore up that unit. It looks like I have 5 knights left, so it looks like he killed 4 knights in the process, and I was very happy with that. Of course, everything he has is Slanesh, so, you know, warriors don't have to worry about aspects of the game that other people do, like failing panic and stuff like that. I would have been happier reforming him, but 1, I didn't want to get countercharged by Chariot, and 2, I had to make sure I got those points. So we overran, and we're kind of out of position. Now, the one danger here, and just in doing this I was taking a chance, is now all of my backlines don't have leadership or a reroll. It's way far away. That was one big chance I took. So if his Demon Prince is in range of stuff, he can force terror tests, and that could go really bad for me. If he charges the demis and wins, he's going to force panic tests, and that could be really bad for me. So Warriors of Chaos turn 2. I think he was too far away with his Demon Prince to charge my Halberdiers. So he charged the demis. They didn't have to take a terror test at least because they already caused fear. So he and the BSB charge into them. The problem is he's likely, well, he's certainly going to win. Hopefully I'll be steadfast, and in which case they might be within range of Karl Franz because it's 18-inch bubble. But if he breaks me in combat, that's gonna force some very dangerous panic tests for me. If you look in the middle, his chariot charged my halberdiers, and he makes it right through the woods and lines it up with my level 4. And that's the mistake I made in my turn. I was so mad at myself for doing that, because now he's just auto going to kill my level 4. It's only turn 2, and that's a huge disadvantage. If you look on the left, his Skull Crushers tried to charge demis. They failed it, and so then he moved up his fast cav in between. I'm not sure what he was doing there, because I think if I charge the fast cav, he's just going to flee with them. Yeah, I mean, I probably with those guys would have marched him around my demis and threatened my whole back line. But really mad at myself at this point for putting my wizard up where he's going to get killed. Captasis is a pillow fight with that chariot, obviously. Yeah, so here's this side. There's that. After combat, yeah, so on the right, he kills my demis. My archers fail their panic. They run, and my halberdiers, thank goodness, didn't, and he runs into them. So they're going to lock each other down for a while. I'm not going to. It's going to be tough for me to get any wounds through. I'll never break the Demon Prince, but I'll be steadfast. The problem is I'm steadfast on a 7, and that's just not going to fly. The good news is, well, okay, so another bad news. During his magic phase, he got off, I think it was either I think he got Cacophonic off on my, or he got Searing Doom. I don't know what it was. He got something off of my Steam Tank that just took it down. I think it only has 3 wounds remaining. So that's rough. And other news, yeah, he could only put 2 wounds on the wizard, which I felt was just crazy unlucky on his part. I do 3 wounds to him. So let's see. And he did a couple impact hits. So he did 4 wounds in a charge. He has 5. I did 3 wounds, a banner, and 3 ranks. So I'm at 7. So I win by 2. So that puts him at a 6. And he sticks. And that's going to cost me my wizard. I got lucky for him to survive this long, but there's nothing I can do to keep him alive now. I was so mad at myself for that. Empire turn 2. So I do a lot of things here. I feel like I'm taking some chances. Well, I'm certainly taking some chances. So let's see. On the right, Steam Tank goes into the flank of the Battle Standard Bearer. I was tempted to take him into the flank of the Demon Prince. The reason I didn't was because he was farther away, and I was worried about failing it. I was only able to generate 2 Steam points. Because I almost auto misfired. I lost D3, so I had a total of 2 Steam points, and I really wanted to make the charge. It's tough to get wounds through on the Battle Standard Bearer because he's going to have a 4-up armor save and then a 3-up rerolling 1s ward save. But I only need to do 2, so my hope is just to roll high, get a bunch of wounds through, and he'll fail some. That's what I tried. So Karl Franz and the BSB individually leave the Knight unit, and they join up later as a unit right there to give a reroll and leadership to my halberdiers. That was a huge mistake because I wasn't thinking that the Demon Prince had Cacophonic, and I just put that unit within 12 inches of it. Without being in 12 inches, I still could have given them leadership 10, which probably would have been just fine, and I wouldn't have to worry about Cacophonic. If you look on the top, I pulled the Warrior Priest out of the Knight unit just to go clear up, help the chaff over there, and to keep him alive. I get extra points in this game by keeping all my spellcasters alive. Of course, it's not going to matter with the freaking wizard now. And the Knights, I just very haphazardly just kind of wheeled them around. I'm the very top middle here. Wheeled them around to face the chariot. Didn't even think that I was offering his level 2 spellcaster a charge at their flank, because normally spellcasters are not a combat threat. But this is Warriors of Chaos. At the top left, Demis charged the Skull Crushers because I wasn't going to be able to avoid that charge much longer, and I didn't want the Skull Crushers going into the flank of my halberdiers. So my plan is just to get a Lore of Metal buff to help them out over there. Yep, there's that on the left. There's the top. And there's the right. After combat, yeah. So he stopped, I think I did Plague of Rust, and he stopped that. And then I did Enchanted Blade, so I'm +1 to hit. So, you know, he starts off with just all his attacks, and he kills 1 demi, and then I actually do 4 wounds, which I can't complain. That's okay. And then his Skull Crushers attack and kill another demi. And we all stick around. Skull Crushers are just so brutal. So now in hindsight, I'm thinking, wow, what if I would have gone first and aimed a cannon at these guys and killed one? That would have made all the difference in the world. Over here, still in the pillow fight. And on the right, yeah, the steam tank does 0 wounds to the BSB. In the halberdier combat with the chariot, I lose my level 4. We do the last wound to the chariot, and I just reform those guys. I really don't know what to do with them. There's nothing either way. They're going to help a whole lot. Warriors Chaos turn 3. Yeah, he charges his level 2 into the flank of my knights at the very top. Otherwise, he rallies and moves stuff up on the left and the lower right. Of course, we're still fighting, but he brings his Chimera into the combat. This one, I'm really mad because I have a musician. I easily could have reformed and did the same thing, gave myself a rank, so at least if he charged me, I'd have steadfast. But I was just being really flippant about it. Yeah, the Chimera coming in there is going to really, really speed up the demise of the halberdiers. The Demon Prince and the Chimera both still have their breath weapons. I'm not missing too many halberdiers. I'm thinking the Demon Prince didn't use them yet. So here's another mistake. So not only did I put these guys in range of Cacophonic, he casts it. I forget that Karl Franz has MR2, so Karl Franz should have had a 2 upward save instead of a 4 upward save. But Karl Franz takes 2 wounds. I get lucky on the BSB, and he doesn't take a wound. And yeah, now more importantly, they have random movement D6, so they're not going to be able to help out with the combat. And random movement's brutal, because what if I roll to go the other way? So then on my next turn, all I can do is turn around, and those halberdiers can be dead before these guys can help out. Over here, I feel like I did very well, considering I only had 2 demis, and I still have 2 demis, and he's down a Skull Crusher. So I don't know. The thing is here, I've got a better armor save than he does. He's strength 5. I'm strength 5 armor piercing. So that's nice, but he has more attacks, higher weapon skill, better initiative for the guys on top. Yeah. Over here, he unleashes some breath weapons. Halberdiers hold, but they're not looking good. Empire turn 4. Karl Franz and the BSB do the random movement, and it takes them right towards where they want to be, so I guess that's kind of nice, but I don't expect them to be alive very much longer. For the most part, there's nothing going on. I'm grinding with the steam tank. I can't get any wounds to the BSB. I've done no wounds in combat on the right. I can't do a single freaking wound. Up on top, the pillow fight continues. My Captasis has 1 wound. The chariot, I believe, has none. I should have pointed out, if you notice, my knights are gone. His level 2 charge him in the flank. I did no wounds to him, of course. I had a banner. He had a charge in the flank. He wins by 1. I'm on a 7, and I fail it. This is just a game of stupid mistakes. So then he just totally destroys this unit. He gets this unit down to just my battle standard bearer. And I'm on Snake Eyes. I roll the dice, and I get Snake Eyes. It doesn't matter. It affects nothing. The game is lost, but kind of funny. And the banner broke, which kind of sucked. Worst cast turn 5. Yeah, so the Chimera's out of combat. He charges the cannon. I mean, now at this point, he's just mopping up. I mean, he's done everything he needs to do. There's that. Chariot charges in here. It's, impact hits alone will probably kill the rest of that unit. And I'm always strike last, so he's going to get to attack and everything. After combat, yeah, Karl Franz dies. The BSB has a wound. Yeah, everything is as you can see it. It's a big cluster F right now. Demis die. Yeah, now we're at the mop-up phase. Yeah, so Warrior Priest charged the fast cav. He had Hatred, re-rolling to wound. When he charged in, he still did nothing. So now we're in a pillow fight. Except now he's winning it. He does a wound to me despite my 1-up armor save. I've got re-roll into wound, and I've got a 5-up ward save, and nothing matters. Empire turn 5. Yeah, I don't know why the halberdiers didn't charge something. No recollection why, but it looks like that. I'm flipping through pictures because there's not a whole lot to say. His Demon Prince charges the rear of my BSB. It was overkill. He didn't need to. I was assuming he would charge the halberdiers. I'll be steadfast, but it's only a 7. Yeah. I probably would have trusted the chariot to finish the BSB. I don't know, the BSB I guess is a 1-up. Anyway, Warriors Chaos turn 6. After the fights, it looks like that. But that's his last turn. He kills the Warrior Priest, of course. On my turn, so I charge the BSB, just say, hey, why not? I'll have a charge, a banner, 3 ranks. I'll start with 5. Surely there's nothing to lose there. Well, that would be wrong. I charge in, I do no wounds to him, he does a bunch of wounds to me, I lose combat, I break, and he runs me down. I'm done. I'm so done. I was done with this game on turn 3. You know, I would love to say this is just a horribly unlucky game, or that this list I'm going against is just broken, but that's really not the case. I mean, I made a bunch of mistakes. I lost my level 4. The level 4 was huge because it allowed my opponent to dominate the magic phase, which played a huge part in him winning the game. I think giving him first turn was a mistake because just because he can't, it's not worth it to shoot at the Demon Prince. There were plenty of other good targets. If he was down to 1 Skull Crusher and 1 cannon, for instance, that would have made a huge difference in this game. So I think that's a matter of being patient. Like if you can't hit the home run with killing the Demon Prince, get what you can. You never know when it'll be beneficial. I think there are movement mistakes. I think moving this Halberdier unit up as aggressively as I did, which allowed him to charge him with his chariot and snipe my level 4. I just made a bunch of mistakes all the way around. So hopefully live and learn. I've got actually a tournament this weekend with we still have 3 games coming up with a probably a revised Empire list because I don't have some of the models and not everything's painted, so I might revise it for that. But anyway, more games coming up in the near future. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has several functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like the video, you can leave a comment, you can favorite the video. I want you to know that I appreciate it when you do things like that. It feels much more interactive than simply me talking to a screen. So if you're willing to do so, please like, comment, and favorite the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and you certainly are welcome to share this video on your blog or other websites if you are so inclined. Again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.